Hey, I'm so sorry. Daniel.
She didn't call me, but I found her.
That's the work of a mother.
I'll find it.
Sorry, I'm a journalist. Do you guys live in?
Bound.
Put it out there. Get in front of you.
Andy, a few words for you here for the people in California, all over the country. What's going on here, brother?
Yeah, for sure. We're out here in East New York, in Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the most oppressed communities in all of New York, the entire East Coast. Same oppression y'all suffering out in South Central, Watts, and the world over. Akai Gurley, one of our brothers out here, was killed by a police assassin's bullet. Once again, there'll be a grand jury. We have absolutely no expectations that this grand jury will indict. So we're out here to put the pressure on and to let the world know, and the NYPD know, and police departments across the world, and the forces of repression across the world, let them know what we do, what we stand for. The police are not our friends. Police are not here to protect us. They're here to protect private property, which we certainly don't own any of in these projects, in the hood, in the oppressed communities. So that's the statement that we're making out here. Justice for Akai Gurley, for Mike Brown, for Eric Garner, for Patrick Dorismond, and so many hundreds and hundreds upon thousands of our people cut down by police departments.
Okay, wow. And this location here, it just happened on the same day that Mike Brown was released. Is that correct? This shooting, this is a very fairly recent one. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is about 10 days back, and the police are trying to make the excuse that it was an unlit hallway. But how does that justify anything? They walk in with their guns ablaze. People are criminalized from the jump. So it wasn't a quote-unquote unfortunate rookie mistake, as they've tried to emphasize in the media. It was business as usual. This is an ongoing thing where it's open season on young Black and Latino males.
Right. And so what's the goal of the Answer Coalition? I know we have Answer in Los Angeles and Oakland. It's all over the country. What's the goals here to try to do to expose this situation for what it is?
Yeah, the Answer Coalition seeks to raise awareness across the country about the true social function of the police. We want to raise awareness that another society is possible, another world is necessary. The way our young people are being cut down day in and day out, this miseducational system, these wars of foreign occupation that have nothing to do with the self-defense of this country. Quite the contrary, it put more American lives in peril. We're an anti-war, anti-imperialist organization, and we're trying to grow every day and organize more and more young people, understanding that the only thing that's ever transformed history is masses of people organized and mobilized for change.
Wow, okay. Pretty ambitious project here, but it looks like, the people are getting together all across the land. What's the difference here now?
Well, these last few days, these decisions have been, in a sense, shocking, though. Anyone who's conscious couldn't be surprised.
Right.
Because these grand juries from state to state have let killer cops go free for decades and really centuries. So this is a century-long practice. Violence against Black people and against oppressed people is American as apple pie. Segregation and white supremacy is American as apple pie. So the difference has been that people have reached a boiling point and things have simmered over. and people are shutting down this business as usual. There's not a bridge, there's not a highway that's been untouched in New York City. The slogan's been shut them down. People who were apolitical, indifferent, apathetic a few days ago have come into political life, perhaps for the first time in their lives. So it's a very historic moment for us.
Right, and it seems that a lot of this now is based on racism, that it's forcing, the country, the police even here, they're on the defensive. For them it's black and white, we're a bunch of thugs. They stereotype people. The whole thing about racial profiling came out of New York because I guess it just got so bad that, the U.S. government had to stop it. I mean, that was perhaps racism at its most extreme. What's the difference now here with this whole thing? I mean, you're a white boy, a güero as they call them. You're here with the people. You could be in your nice home in, Whitesville or whatever, and just be kicking back, but you're here. What's up with that?
Yeah, güero, gabacho, gringo,
Así, compa.
Yankee. There's quite a few terms for the white boys. It's funny. I've lost some of my own siblings. My sister Ellen passed away, victim of drugs and oppression and sexual violence against women. I've had my own sisters and brothers, my own siblings, in and out of the prison system.
Okay.
So this system is no friend of poor white people either.
Okay.
Of course, black and brown people catch more hell on top of hell, but to think that poor white people don't catch hell is an illusion as well. So this is a multinational issue. Us poor white people have no love for this system. The majority of people on public assistance in this country who are unemployed and have to depend on public assistance are white people. So many young, working class sisters and brothers who are quote unquote socially defined as white, they're dying on the front lines in Afghanistan and in Iraq in wars that have nothing to do with our interests. Hundreds of thousands come back, PTSD, legs and arms maimed. So white people have an interest as well. I don't even classify myself as white. That's a societal definition. These terms are remnants of the slave trade.
Okay.
Nobody is white. I'm an Irishman, but I ain't that pale. I'm not white. I'm peachy peach or pinky pink, as my young son used to call me. So for us, it's a class struggle, not a race struggle. As a white boy, quote unquote, I have a lot more in common with my people in Baghdad or Kabul or East New York. So there is no, mansion in Long Island with a chihuahua and a white picket fence that I'm going home to with a gardener named Jose. I grew up poor, never had knew nothing. My father wasn't there, fatherless situation. My mother went all out for me, and so that's my story. So I connect 100% with all the Chicanos and Mexicans and sisters and brothers, black, Haitian. So it's an international struggle. Before I'm American, I'm a human being. I'm an internationalist. I lived in Haiti, lived in Mexico, lived in Nicaragua, lived in Brazil. I've been part of these struggles internationally. So we internationalists, we revolutionaries. Our interests are class interests, nothing to do with race.
Right. Now, the government perceives to be people like you as troublemakers, as people who are trying to overthrow the government. So far, you have not said anything that suggests that you're trying to do that. Rather, what you're trying to do is bring attention, to the situation. I mean, what do you say to some of these guys that, like I said, they're living in denial, aren't they?
Well, they're the troublemakers because every day they preach to us nonviolence with a system that is systemically violent against us. So they're up on a pulpit of hypocrisy trying to tell us to be nonviolent. But when it's open season, relentless violence against our people, if you look at New York City in the last 10 years, since Amadou Diallo was killed and Patrick Dorismond, whose family members are here, there's been more than 180 of our people, mostly black and brown, cut down by the police, and not one of those police has ever been indicted or convicted. So this system definitely needs to change. More and more people are fed up, and they understand the change is upon the horizon.
Right, and it appears to be that you either see it black or white. You either see it as, these people are thugs, or you see them from a humanist standpoint like you do. And that, unfortunately, is what's dividing us, so much here now.
Well, when in this society, in the mainstream, when they say gang, inevitably people think of a young black man in East New York or the South Bronx, where I'm from, with their pants sagging and their do-rag. But the largest gangs in this country historically have been the Ku Klux Klan, CIA, the FBI, NYPD, LAPD, with more blood on their hands than anyone could imagine, than any other quote-unquote gang could even conceive of. So we understand who the true gangsters are, and these are racialized, racist terms that they use. to dehumanize and criminalize young African Americans every day. We want to redefine these terms. This is a national conversation. There's a lot of education that we have to do because the miseducational system undereducates and miseducates our people. So in the words of Mark Twain, never allow your schooling to interfere with your true education. So this out here is education. It's building with the community to let East New York know who our true enemy is. And Malcolm talked about don't ever confuse your friends with your enemies, because if you follow this media and this miseducational system in many of these churches out here, you will confuse your true friends with who your true enemies are.
Okay, wow, that's powerful wisdom right there. And you know, this is crazy here. I still can't believe here we are, the year 2014. You mentioned Malcolm X. Who was someone who died trying to talk about this, and ultimately, as we mentioned, the police agencies at that time, particularly of the Hoover area, were involved in the massive disruption of movements. They would go after its leaders and cause dissension and provide a lot of provocateur type activities that were designed to continue the whole so-called status quo, right?
No question. I mean, the U.S. government is extremely hypocritical. They would make the charge today that there is no leadership in the black community when they themselves beheaded and systematically repressed the most genuine, advanced, humanist, honest, integrous black leadership throughout the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. I mean, Malcolm X's chief bodyguard at the Audubon Ballroom, which you visited last night, Gene Roberts, was an FBI agent himself. So there's no question that the FBI and the state was involved in Malcolm, Martin Luther King, so many other of our leaders' assassinations.
Wow. All right, brother. Well,
all right, brother.
So we're here today. Well, first, introductions. My name is Kirby. I'm from the Answer Coalition, which stands for Act Not to Stop War and Racism Coalition. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came out here today. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been in your house, all snuggled up under your blanket, but you're here and you're in the ring with us. You're here standing for every family that's been affected by police brutality. You're here to stand with Akai Gurley, whose funeral was today, this morning, and his family. You're here for Mike Brown. You're here for Eric Garner. You're here for every black and brown person that's killed every 28 hours within this country. And this is why you're here today. It's just in case you forgot. This is why you're here today. Am I right?
Talk to us. Talk to us.
Oh, do I have to say put the phones on vibrate? Now, when we first came here to do outreach the day after Akai Gurley was killed on Friday, there was only 3 people from the building who came downstairs. And now there's a whole bunch of people here for Akai Gurley. And I want to give a special thanks to the people who live in the pink houses, who live around this area, who came downstairs. The reason why I say this is because when we started talking to these people, talking to mothers and fathers and young people who live here, they said, Akai Gurley ain't the first one.
That's right.
They said, cops always beat up our kids. They said, my son died 2 years ago because they were killed by a cop. There's a woman, her name is Miss Catherine. She said that her son was beaten to a bloody pulp, that both his eyes were shut and bruised because of cops that patrol these buildings. This is not an isolated incident. This happens every day. These police officers have this whole area surrounded. There's a woman here who's going to come and speak soon. She told us that they go as far back as 2 blocks with police vans and cars. What does that show? How scared they are of us. We shouldn't be afraid of them. We have the power.
That's right.
We build our communities. We live in our communities. Who are they? They're supposed to serve and protect us, and they kill us, and they get mad that there's a reaction. Come on now. You got things confused and backwards. So first person I'm going to have up, she's real powerful. I'm just going to bring her up now. I'm bringing you up now because I love you and you're amazing. And that's what struggle does. It makes you automatically have love for people because you see that they believe in the same struggles and the same things that you believe in. They fight for the same causes that you fight for. They're in the streets just like you're in the streets. So please give a warm round of applause for Miss V.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I think one of the reasons Kirby wanted me to come up first is because she knows I don't play when it comes to NYPD, right? And a lot of people, I feel like y'all have it in you too not to play when it comes to NYPD. But before you can stand up strong the way you need to, you got to know your rights. And when you learn your rights, you have to come back into your community and educate other people around you who don't understand their rights. Do not let NYPD come in your neighborhood and terrorize you. I'm sick of the media saying that we have to rebuild trust. The way I was taught history, police officers stem from being overseers to runaway slave patrols to becoming police officers. To me, that means there has never been trust between the community, people of color, black people, and the NYPD. And as a mother of a young black male, I'll be damned if one of y'all touch my son. There will be no protest. And when they start hearing that from each and every one of us and mean it, they were surprised to see that anybody turned out today and yesterday in the rain. For the last few days, we have had these officers scrambling around the city because they don't know where we're going to pop up, how many of us is going to be. They try to stop us from protesting peacefully walking down the street. Tuesday, I observed NYPD snatching youth off the street in Times Square as we peacefully protested, violating our rights, thinking that we won't come outside and tell you that we will not be bullied by NYPD. We are tired of modern day slavery. We will not put up with your mass incarceration. We are done with your broken windows policing, and it starts today.
So y'all see why I had to get her to start it off, right? Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go!